Just Chad Evans, weather from where you live.
It may be warm, windy, and dry in the central U.S., but in New England, record flooding is in progress. Many rainstorms, along with record snow melt, is creating one of the biggest floods in history in that area. In fact, some of this flooding is the worst they've seen in about 100 to 150 years, with evacuations taking place. Meanwhile, on the other side of the U.S., we've got snow and lots of it. In fact, some of the coldest weather since mid-February in California, Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. In fact, Thursday and Friday, we may have a high near 80 degrees, but in Los Angeles, California, highs only in the 50s and maybe even in the 30s up towards Seattle, Washington. This is the weather pattern. It's called an omega block, and anytime it's warm in our area, it's almost always cold in the west. Again, we've got the big ridge in the central part of the U.S. with expansive warmth and wind. Meanwhile, in the west, it's cold and unsettled with a trough, rain and snow. And off the east coast, there's that big storm with all the flooding, with rain and some snow falling on ground that is saturated from the record snow melt. Remember, we had all that heavy snow in the Northeast this winter, cold and unsettled there as well. Thankfully, we're on the good side of this omega block with warm, windy weather, and that means some farmers will likely start working this week. It's a little too early to start planting corn, but I think some field work will commence with the warmest weather of the season. A lot of wind drying out these wet soils, but it appears our next weather system is speeding up a little bit. And as a matter of fact, we may see some scattered showers and storms by lunchtime on Saturday, but another warm-up next week. And with that warm-up, we could see the first really widespread severe weather outbreak in parts of the Midwest by middle and latter parts of next week. Now, after lows this morning in the 20s and highs today, 60 to about 63 degrees, we're only going to drop about 40 to 45 tonight. So much warmer tonight than last night. 40 Rochester, 45 Lafayette and Pence. Windy and warm tomorrow. Elevated brush fire danger due to the very dry winds. 75 Lafayette and Monticello. 73 Rochester, even Logansport down to Burlington and Aroosheville, about 74. Even Morocco, Remington and Pence at 75 degrees with strong southwesterly winds. Those highs in the mid-70s. We'll be in the upper 70s, if not 80 degrees on Thursday with an elevated brush fire danger with any area that has dry brush and dry grass cured from the winter. And we'll be pushing 80 on Friday as well with a lot of wind from the southwest. But Friday night, a very mild night, 61 for the low, but clouds will be on the increase. And now it does appear this cold front is speeding up, and it may likely pass through around lunchtime on Saturday. So if we're lucky, we may only have maybe 4 to 4.5 hours of rain and some storms on Saturday. And the good news is, after a severe weather outbreak to our west on Friday, this line of storms may weaken and not produce any severe weather here and reform severe weather to our southeast on Saturday. So the timing is good for a lack of severe weather in our area. A little cooler on Sunday, but we're back into the 70s on Monday. And with this warm air next week, some severe weather will be possible mid to late week. The highest risk to our west, but we'll watch this. This could be a pretty significant outbreak for parts of the Midwest. Mostly clear, not nearly as cold tonight. Down to 45 degrees, 75 tomorrow, windy and warm. Winds 20 to 30 miles an hour out of the southwest. And near 80 Thursday into Friday, Jeff. Some showers and thunderstorms, mainly around lunchtime on Saturday as the cold front goes through. Severe threat doesn't look too high right now, and we're back into the upper 70s by next week. But with that warm weather next week, Jeff, again, we'll watch that severe weather threat. And I think this could be the biggest, most widespread outbreak the Midwest has seen in a long time. Certainly.
And what day are you talking about for that?
Probably Thursday into Friday. Probably a good year since we've seen an outbreak.